Welcome to 13 Hour Times 62 Lego Set Reviews. Welcome to 13 Hour Times 62's Lego Set Reviews. Today we have Lego Creator Log Cabin, set number 5766, ages 7 to 12, 355 pieces. This is a 3-in-1 build, and usually retails around $30. Originally sold in 2011, but is still around even in Lego stores and retail stores today. So here's a look at some of the instructions. We have part 1 of 3. This is the log cabin, the big part of the set. These are the other 2 in the other instruction book. 36 steps. Here is our minifigure and our Station Master minifig pick. I think this minifigure looks really nice as a camper. He's got a little backpack and a baseball cap. No specific printing, just on the head, basically. I do like the new baseball cap look, though. I don't have many of them, but they look nice. You get a couple extra pieces over here for what's not used in this model. You get a little kayak, which can seat one person in the middle, and maybe some gear on the sides. You also get an oar with it so we can start paddling, like it shows on the box. So let's take a good look around the log cabin with the tree that falls over a lot. That's a problem that happens. We'll get to that eventually. We'll get to it now. This tree is very decorative. I'd like to make more of these if I can, if I had the right pieces, but it is one-sided, as you can see. This side doesn't really hold up so well, so it tilts in that other side's direction. And it also just sits here on the side as it shows in the instructions. So you can't really, you could just latch it on top or something. That's what I'd do, because it does fall over if you don't really hold it somewhere. You get a little campfire here, where you can roast some pieces of chicken, and you got 2 stools for it, so people can eat it. This door does open, and so do all the windows. You also have the roof, very nice. I like the red roof. You can take that piece off. You got the horns, and you can take a look on the inside. You can also move this back section if you didn't want the roof off, or if you did, to get more playability to look inside. Basically, all you have in here is lots of space and this little oven place. So you could fit your own stuff in there if you wanted to build something or have a lot of guests over, because minifigures can easily fit in here. I think some of the poly bags, like the one from Lord of the Rings with Frodo, that would be a nice thing to add in here, because there's a couple of little town accessories, city accessories maybe, could also work well in here. I actually do like the open space because it gets you to be creative. You can even fit the kayak in here pretty easily. The kayak has a little rounded piece on the bottom, so it can just look like it's floating in the river. And this fits snug back on there. Thanks for watching part 1 of the Creator Log Cabin review. We will get to the other ones shortly. We'll see you soon. So here we have part 2 of 5766 Log Cabin. This is the smaller house version with the lake in the middle of it, or maybe it's a river. I haven't figured it out yet. We got a little bench, a small tree. It's got a little area to eat outside as well as inside. I actually missed one of the pieces when building this. I don't know where it is exactly, but there's a missing 1x2 yellow. If you've seen it, can you help me find it? Alright, let's get on to it. So you already know what the figure looks like. It's a very plain figure, and nothing's really changed about him. He's the same person as he was before in the last part of the set. Now let's get on to the actual model. As you can see, the 16x16 plate is on one side. I think I forget what this is, probably about 8 by 16 on the other, and then 6 by 16 in the middle. If you take a look around, you can see what kind of accessories we have. We got a tree with all these different leaves on top, but only like 3 or 4 branches. You can see we got a river in the middle with a bridge that kind of crosses over, has a light on it, and a railing on the side. I like that. I like how it's a railing. We got the door in the front, a little lantern here, a bush, and a lawnmower. That's the part where I was missing the 1x2, because normally it'd be facing the other way. And you could actually attach the person to it. I just take it off. There, it looks like a little suitcase. It's a little bit less of a lawnmower, I guess, because it's not a big lawn. I mean, how much grass are you going to cut around here? So, you kind of could, use it around for play, or just keep it outside as a nice accessory. I do like the way they built it, though. Just kind of interesting. We go around on this side, we got the big roof. It's one of those kinds of houses where it's a big roof on one side, a small roof on the other. But I have a few issues with that. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. This tree park area is totally fine. I kind of like it. I would definitely see this in a Lego City park. In fact, the whole set itself would be nice for a Lego City park. But even if split about this side over, you could put that directly in. It's a nice area. You can actually sit a minifigure on here to enjoy some chicken, because that's what you have in the set. I mean, it's a tiled surface, so it's not really made for sitting and staying. But you can still have the illusion, that he's sitting there enjoying his meal. The bench I really like. Not bench. The bridge I really like, because it's a nice, looks accurate as far as stepping up to it and stepping off of it. The railing is probably the best part that I like, except what they could do a little bit better with the railing. They don't have the piece in the set, but a 1x1 right here, so you can actually hold it on both sides. That would be a little bit helpful, because you're only having one piece on this side holding it, and you can bounce it off, or you could just take it off completely and not even have it, unless you want to do that. You also got the nice light. I don't really have much to say for the light. It's just a light. Got this little cooking area outside, and just to poke at the in the middle of it, I think there's a reason why they have it on the outside, because they don't have enough room on the inside. You got enough room in here, you can put a piece of chicken, but it's kind of hard to get out, considering it's right above, or right below, should I say, this piece. So you kind of have to take this apart to take out the chicken, and then eat it. Now, I don't know if it's any better fitting it back in. It's a little bit better fitting it back in if you've got steady hands. And it's a nicely built part of it. I would like an oven like that in the house. Even as a furnace, maybe. I don't know. Then we have this little awning on the outside, so I guess if you're cooking a chicken, you won't get wet. It's just a nice little area to dry off before you go inside. Or if you're looking for your keys to go back inside. I'm having fun with this. Like I said, the bush is an okay build. It's actually built in as part of the house, which is clever because it gives you a little bit less to build for the house, but you also keep the bush there in a steady spot. You also got these little stones to walk up to the house, and got an opening door. We'll get on to the inside in just a sec, because there's not only this function with the house, you could also take off the entire half. So here's what the half looks like on the inside, and remember that because it's going to be an issue. This is the one thing I don't like about this house. It's too small. It may look like it's spacious in here because you got a little table, you got a chair. There's this odd corner. You could fit stuff if you want to, but I don't know what you can really fit in there. That's the problem. You can't even put a minifigure there, so what would you put in there? Maybe you could put your lawnmower when you're not using it. Squeeze it in the corner. Yeah, really like something like that. I don't know. Maybe not. It's too big for the lawnmower. Well, too bad. Now we got enough room in here. We could fit the minifigure. if you want to have some inside play, it's totally possible. And you notice all this is made with these little 1x1 pieces. These help with taking off and putting on the that whole roof piece we took off. Now, from the inside, watch what happens when I put this back on. And you should be able to see the minifigure in here when I try to fit this back in. Without moving where he is, this is too little room. I mean, really. This is probably the least favorite part of the set for me. The house would be an okay house, but considering its space, it's not that great. If you put this back on, you're only having about the doorway's width of room in there to do anything. And there's only one thing you can do, is sit in there and eat. Or sit at your table. So you only have enough room for this. That's what you can do. It's a little bit less decorative than you can use for the log cabin that you get in the set. Because there's less you can do on the inside. See? You just sit there. There's not even a chair on the other side for someone else to sit. Although, they also wouldn't provide enough space for someone to, I don't know, to walk in. It's too small, is all I'm trying to say. That's the least thing I like about this house. They've probably had some other creator sets where this design was used, but I don't know if they've had any kind of design where it's that small for space. It looks like it's fairly usable, but when in reality you put this this roof back on, a lot of these bricks are interfering. Although they help hold up the house, they also stick in the middle of it and cause you to lose some space. So if you're looking around for a real estate Lego house, this is not the one you want to get for the Lego log cabin set. And now, yeah, it's an okay model overall. The house is not bad for its design. I'm not really a big fan of them in general, because it just seems odd to me that part of the wall is actually a giant roof. But it's okay, I guess. As in total, this part 2, I'll go with it. But definitely fix the house, trying to make it bigger. You could probably take the house itself off and make that a section. You could take this part off and make that a section. They're good together, but this would be better if it had more space. So now on to part 3. I also forgot to mention in the video, according to the book, it only takes steps. It says 55 at the end of the page, but it's definitely more than that throughout the book. If you consider building the roof or building the tree on its own, things like that. But it takes pages 3 to 43, 40 pages to build this. And in my copy, it actually ripped in like the second to last page. So it's hard to show you, but that's the general idea. It only takes about half of the second book for building it, because the rest of the second book builds the other part, which we will get to now. So here we have the last installment of the log cabin creator set. This is the second build that you can make. Well, third that we made, but in difficulty. This is the experienced build. It's between the two, so it's kind of intermediate as far as building and design. The last one we did, I forgot to mention, was a quick build, and you probably know that the log cabin is the advanced build. So, let's take a look at it. We'll start off on the back side. You can see we have our hiking figure with a little duck. He's just feeding him some apples, and we had a piece of chicken in the set, but it was just lying on the table, so I just put it in his hand. We have a little bush here, just a nice little lake area. The yellow piece I still couldn't find, so I just used a gray one, also included in the set. And we have a light and a rock. I really like the window design on this side. It's very interesting because we don't see that many times in Lego sets, sometimes in creator sets, or something similar to it. The only downside is you can't actually open the windows. If you put them in one way, you can't open them from either side, which is okay, because sometimes windows like that aren't meant to be open. They're just kind of a nice design. And on the side, by the way, we still have plenty of extra pieces not used in this model, so if you want to build something else with it, you could do that. And that goes for any of them. because they usually don't take up the entire thing. So, next part we have a little bench, or desk, whatever you may want to make it. We have a small bush with a faucet next to it, so you can fill it up with a bucket or something. You could, you have this little garden area. I guess these are apples, or some kind of fruit maybe, because he has one in his hand, unless it's something different. So we have some plants and fruits in that garden area. Kind of a nice idea. We don't see that often in Lego sets. Sometimes, but not all the time. And then here's the front area where we have our door, the lantern, a little bush area, and a small window. On the back we have this chimney structure and the hinges to open up this. I guess it's a house, not really a cabin. So you could have it open like this. You could see both sides on the outside. You could connect the two to try to make a larger house structure. In that, this would be in a whole nother house. This would be its own house. But it's actually meant to be one big house. It's not too big, but it has enough room on the inside to do a lot of different things. We have a table in here with two chairs. When we have this closed, you'll see that the chairs actually go together to the table. We have a chandelier, a little attic space, even a little bit of attic space right here. And we still have that chimney, and it connects to this fireplace. In the instructions, they show the fireplace, this whole structure, is made separately, then attached to the model. So it's not actually built into it, except for the roof. Now, if I took off the roof pieces, we could take parts of it out, like that. So it'll be a nice mini model that you can make based on the actual set. I'll just put that roof back on. So, I'm assuming this isn't really like a log cabin type of house. It's probably more like an urban or suburban house, especially with the inclusion of a chandelier. I do like how they made that because it's very simple and it works well inside of the house. We also have the light back over here, so I'm guessing there's some kind of electricity nearby for that to work. So if we close this up, you can also see we have some horns on the mantle to give it that nice fireplace effect. If we open it up from in here, you can almost see right through the house, and you can kind of see through there how the chairs and table line up. I would say though, the chairs, this chair on this side is hard to put a minifigure on, because if you put him there in attachment with the table, it kind of interferes with the window and wall. Let me try it from showing this side. So if I put him in here, you can see he's kind of struggling to get onto the seat because the window's in the way. So it's probably better that you keep him facing another way, like this. Because that way, I guess you could, watch the fire with it. Or have something cooking in the fire. So that can work. And you can also see that's kind of close to the other table just by how the studs line up on both sides. But it's not enough that it'll have it overlapping on either side. The only thing overlapping would be the chandelier. Although, it wouldn't overlap if you have the whole thing closed. But on the outside, this looks like a really neat house just for one person. I could see this as being like a small schoolhouse if you redesign the colors. Maybe add another window or two and change some of the back. So, I like the design of this house. This is my second favorite based on the log cabin set. And while I'm here, I'm not going to take apart this model and rebuild it into the log cabin. I'm just going to give my final thoughts on the whole set. The whole set entirely is $30, as I mentioned in the beginning. And with the price per pieces, it works out really well. It's relative to 10 cents per piece. And the models in it look really impressive. I mean, even the quick build one is a nice design that uses lots of different pieces and still offers some other areas of play. Each one of these has their different designs to suit different people's, kind of housings or the kind of area they want to live in. And they work with the environment really well. I like how they keep implementing the blue plate. It works well with the bottom two, the quick build and the experienced one. The log cabin is kind of on the side, but it's still usable. because you have the kayak there. It's got a lot of different features for different houses, some better space than others. We all know the log cabin's going to have the best space, and the quick build one, whatever that kind of house is, does not have the best space. This one's kind of the intermediate where you can still have play inside of it. And I really like how LEGO made this set for all 3 of the models. So I recommend the set. If you can get it at some point, try to get it, because I think it may still be available in some stores if you get lucky, or you could go online to try and find it. But it's a good set. I recommend it. I'm not even much of a creator fan, but I would say in a creator point of view, kind of what I said before. The way that all 3 of the models are built, they reflect on how the set is supposed to be made, the theme of the set, and, you know, each of them offers unique style and features. From a regular LEGO point of view, this is good to put into a city with any of the 3 models. I was even thinking if you had the, like a lot of sets, especially the Friends line, they have a lot of the 16x16 plates, and they build models strictly on that plate for different buildings. So you could definitely put this as something to connect with those buildings, and you could interact with different minifigures and different buildings in different ways. So I highly recommend this as a creator set. This is probably one of my favorite creator sets that I've seen in recent years. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next time for more LEGO set reviews.